Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to finally start a series I've been planning for a while now, and that is to go through every single James Bond novel and log them, of course, in these videos. And yes, logging. I wouldn't say this is going to be reviewing these books. I don't kind of have an intention of that, and I won't kind of give a rating or any this kind of stuff at the end, but I think I just wanted to kind of log my thoughts, my general feelings, and experiences going through these novels, kind of an informal kind of discussion on these novels, and I want to as well compare them a little to the films. So of course there will be spoilers, and this won't be a massive video, kind of breaking them down, but I will give a spoiler warning, for the novels and the films. So in this video, Casino Royale, the novel and the film from, of course, 2006. And yes, just to be warned, of course, because I will kind of get into some kind of plot details. And yes, here we are, though, vintage classics edition. This is the one I chose, and I've done this with a few of them now. I've kind of ordered them, on Amazon, and yes, just kind of got these, and yeah, it's just a great little, I think, simple, kind of stylish, set of publications here, for these, and also very cheap, really overall, paperback, of course. So yeah, around less than £10, on Amazon, for example, kind of buying them new, and at least most of them are, and I've got around 6 of them now, and cannot wait to, of course, continue with these. And this, of course, this one here, though, Casino Royale, this is the one, the original, of course, Fleming novel, and published in 1953, April 13th, and this kind of the events of this, we believe, kind of take place in 1951. So again, very, very different, to the film, of course, from 2006, completely different, in kind of time period, and therefore, atmosphere and tone, maybe, but it has as well. It doesn't have the kind of prologue that you have, in the Casino Royale film. I guess it just kind of goes straight into the kind of really after the first chapter or so, into kind of Le Chiffre, and the kind of areas surrounding him, and building this up, and I guess just kind of, yes, getting straight into the kind of casino, parts, and we have many, moments. I found quite a few chapters, actually, of just, kind of descriptions on, the kind of card games, and, the rules, and the way in which, Bond, kind of planned, on taking down Le Chiffre, of course. The main plot being, this Smersh agent, being Le Chiffre, and Bond is kind of sent on a mission to bankrupt him and defeat him, in these games, these card games, and the casino, and yes, just to kind of take him down and stop, what he is financing, of course. So yeah, basic plot being that, and of course, as we know, Vesper, yes, she is in this novel as well, and she's very, very different, though, I would say, in the way she's portrayed to the film, and despite that, though, just this is, a true love story, and just reading this book, this novel, was just so fascinating, and just to kind of see where it all began, and even though the film, is very, very kind of serious in tone, this book, is even more so. I find this novel, it's just, there's no real kind of outlandish moments, and it just, it's a serious kind of in tone, kind of story here, spy kind of story. Although it has got, moments of humour. I think just reading this novel was just such a treat. I would say absolutely. This is just a masterful piece of writing. Ian Fleming just kind of imbuing this sense of paranoia, and this kind of atmosphere creeping in, though, in a very subtle way throughout this narrative, and just to kind of place you in a kind of a time period, and describe the setting, and just through such genius writing here, the way in which as well Bond is introduced, I found to be genius, the way we learn about Bond, and bearing in mind this is the very first kind of appearance of this character James Bond. Who is this guy? Obviously when I read novels, it was very I guess everyone's different. It's very complex to describe, my brain and stuff, but how I kind of try to, in a way, forget or distance myself from perhaps a film that I've seen, of a book, and then, reading the book. For example, after the film, I try to kind of distance myself a little bit, and be, I can't help but place, some kind of faces and stuff to the actual characters. Having said that, though, I think there is a difference here in the way it's approached, and I kind of get a blend of the book and the film, kind of my kind of thoughts on the kind of or my impressions of the character of James Bond, for example, from the films. But really, it's just kind of highlighting I feel how each and every kind of Bond actor has actually kind of brought out this character to the screen so well, actually, and I think there's really quite a lovely in a lovely way, kind of a bit of everyone in this kind of character in the novel, so that's great. And having said that, though, a little bit different here. We have this kind of particular kind of smugness to the character, and his kind of his attitudes, and the way he, his respect, perhaps for individuals, in the film, is very very different to this novel, and I think it's fascinating. We have this kind of character arc, this progression throughout this novel, and just the kind of Bond becoming Bond, of course, but really the way in which he kind of respects, for example, Vesper, and the way in which he falls in love with Vesper, and in the end, he is kind of covering up his emotions, but he is, heartbroken, and we do have this kind of very obvious kind of love story. The second or the last third really of this novel, I just kind of read, in a couple of days, and was just so kind of gripped and so moved, by this novel, and the way in which kind of as we know, Vesper kind of dies is very very different as well, in this novel, and I think the reaction from Bond is definitely more I'd say cold than in the film, and I think having said that, though, I do kind of understand his emotions at times, through the very complex, of course, and him just trying to shrug this off, and of course the final line being, it's a very pivotal moment here, and I didn't expect the kind of novel to end with this line, and what an effective ending in this novel. Very very different, as we say, to the film. We don't have Bond kind of going off and kind of this epic kind of uplifting moment as well. We have really purely a tragedy in this sense, and the kind of ambiguous nature too. Yes, perhaps Bond's reaction to this, and it kind of ends there, and what a way to kind of set this up, this universe, and of course we have many more to go through. Next being Live and Let Die, and really interested to see how these books kind of continue this Bond character, and because in this let's just say in this novel, it's this subtlety, it's this kind of this cold character, brutal character, but there is this warmth underneath, and I think this jokey nature to Bond as well, and the irony to his character, and the way he's very at times sarcastic, you could say, actually, and he has this kind of he has these moments where he will make remarks, and he is quite humorous, in this novel, Casino Royale, and yes, very very short. This you could say only 229 pages of this actual story, in this kind of paperback edition, that is, and speaking on that, but it kind of it cuts out the kind of yes, the kind of prologue, you could say, of the film, and the epilogue as well, in that sense, and we just have this kind of central kind of location really, and of course after Le Chiffre is kind of dispatched, we have of course Bond and Vesper kind of just being together, and the kind of in this novel, very complex. We have this kind of up and down relationship, and it's very 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 moving, so sad to see, to read, of course, different moments when Vesper is just kind of shutting off from Bond, and obviously I knew why that was, because I've seen the film, but it's just such a, you can kind of see different hints early on, and kind of reading this again will be great, and it's just such a kind of layered story here, and it's this kind of one of these from what I've read and kind of seen and stuff, is I guess one of these ultimate kind of spy stories, and it's a very unique story, and you can see how this kind of set up this series of books, and led to, of course, for me, eventually, the greatest franchise, in cinema history. The way in which this is now, kind of as big as it gets, James Bond, and it started with this book, with this, genius mind, in my opinion, Ian Fleming, and just what he puts here, into this story, it's just so riveting. At first as well, I must say, I was thinking, oh, how this is quite a lengthy, already kind of description of the actual particulars of, for example, the card games. But once it got kind of going with this, and I saw what Fleming was doing, I think that it worked perfectly, and it got me so immersed, in these particulars, and therefore, of course, as an actual novel, being able to take part further in kind of the actual event being this card game later on, and just the way in which we have the kind of shifts of power in this is so well done, and just like the film, of course, character moments in this kind of game, and the subtleties and the kind of restraint between the different characters, and the different moments of tension and near misses. It's fascinating to see how it's kind of portrayed in this novel, and I think just seeing the film, of course, it's just great to kind of compare this, I think, and just really reading the book, I think it's a masterpiece, of writing, and it really is genius, restrained in the right places, and just at the same time, so kind of enjoyable, humorous, full of kind of history as well, But I think reading this, it kind of highlighted even further how I think personally, the film is just such a masterpiece, and kind of I think it goes above and beyond the kind of novel, but I think again, a book and a film, I don't really compare, I never do, and it's just great to kind of read this and see a different side of this similar universe, and just to kind of get another fragment, perhaps another kind of I'd say another kind of dimension of this universe that's been set up, and that I love and know. Just of course, growing up with watching the James Bond films, and finally at the age of 24, kind of starting these novels, and I cannot wait. I must say, to kind of continue, and this novel here, Casino Royale, is just stunning. I think the tragedy to this, the emotion, and just the complexities, to this kind of arc, and James Bond himself, of course, at times, just we learn, about him through his interactions. This is what it's about, so wonderfully kind of capturing the interactions, between Bond and Vesper, Felix as well, of course, and Mathis, very, very interesting character, and once again in this novel, very, very complex, and just so kind of warm. This, the interactions, and this kind of. At first, I love how as well, the kind of the trio of Mathis, Vesper, and Bond, kind of portrayed, and the moments when they kind of go out and are eating, this is just wonderfully portrayed in this novel, and I loved, just kind of sitting back and kind of getting immersed in a natural way gradually to this. But we have, we do have moments of tension, early on. For example, Bond. There are attempts, made on Bond's life, through. Bombs, kind of trying to kill him with these devices, and that doesn't happen, in the film in this way. But it's really, really, disturbing. I feel the way it's done in this novel, and just moments of tension, yet so kind of patient, and I think natural. The flow to this novel, to this story, and the way it unfolds, and of course. Ending just as kind of you want more, at least I did, and just kind of not too kind of drawn out or anything like this. But having said that, I would have I do prefer, the fact that the film has this kind of aftermath of this, and then of course this kind of, but it's very very different, of course, and I think seeing the film, is just once again recently just highlighted how much I love it, and I think the novel as well. This is just wonderful, and I think if you're looking for kind of more grounded take on Bond, one that is kind of it has the essentials of the character and the universe, but it's very very different, of course. And if you're planning on kind of reading these novels as well, you haven't perhaps done so. I know many of you obviously have, but if you haven't done so, it gets my highest recommendation, really, and just a pleasure to kind of go through this, and just comforting, sitting on my bed and stuff, for example, I just going through this, reading this was just, it's so warm, kind of nice to read, and as well, very tragic, as we know, of course, this story, of course, the kind of death of Vesper, so sad, and Bond's reactions, to this, and just the kind of the feelings we get, when they're together, I guess, it's just so powerful, and this is a real kind of. It's a novel story with real kind of arc, progression, and just culmination at the end, and this kind of effect giving me so many different emotions that are very very powerful, and again, what a kind of fascinating read as well. This is where it all began in that sense, and just what a novel, and yes, I truly loved going through this novel. From the opening kind of pages, chapters, perfectly kind of establishing this character, this legend, of course, James Bond, and just through his mannerisms, just I love the kind of the very particular details, to the kind of the smell, and stuff, and the different ways in which Bond is kind of giving off, a presence, as well, and just masterful writing here, truly is, and just the way in which we're put in this kind of universe, and it's just so compelling and layered and warm. Of course, characters like M, for example, we have this, relationship being conveyed, and already kind of, knowing. They kind of through their interactions, and the way in which they respond, just how kind of what their relationship is, but there is a mystery to it, and every single aspect of this novel, there is a mystery to it, a sense of wonder, yet we get so much information and kind of insight, so I feel, and just yes, characters that Bond kind of knows already when the kind of story begins, and also new characters that he meets and forms relationships with, and in the end, of course, the tragedy of Vesper, really is such a kind of emotional kind of feeling, of course, heartbreaking, for Bond. It's very clear, reading it, he does feel this, but it's a very different way in which he kind of reacts to this than the kind of the film, of course, very very different, but I loved it, and I just as well, that kind of the letter in this in this story that Vesper leaves for Bond, it's just what a genius, kind of unique, way in which this kind of culminates. I feel, and very different to the film, but both, I absolutely love, and I do, of course, yes, prefer the film, but I do anyway. Cinema is my area, and I thought this series would be great to kind of go through reading the novels. I do love reading, and of course, just to as well, make some comparisons to the films. I thought that'd be great coming up, at this kind of going through these books at that angle, but kind of as well separating them a little, and just finding that balance, I guess, between kind of bringing my love of the franchise, the films, to this, while also kind of treating it as kind of its own thing in its own kind of unique way, and I've loved reading this book, of course, this novel, and highly recommend this. Truly wonderful stuff. Again, I don't rate books, but it is a masterpiece. If you're wondering, in my opinion, at least. And yes, next up, Live and Let Die. So very excited to read this, and just I don't, I've not really heard too much about this. I've never read any, a single page, of these novels before. So yeah, just looking forward to this, and it'd be interesting as well to compare this to the film, and just to kind of see in which, the way in which they did, adapt this book. Of course, being the first, in the film universe, the first Roger Moore outing. So yeah, film that I love, as well. That, and it's a great Bond film, and it should be interesting to go through this and read this. I will start this in the next week, and I don't know when I'll upload a kind of video. I'll take my time, I guess, with some of these books, these novels, and definitely more pages in this one. That should be great to get more of a kind of lengthy, novel here. But for what this was doing, this is for me, in my opinion, a perfect setup to this kind of universe, to this character, and to the kind of the way in which we have this kind of take on a spy genre, truly wonderful, and yes, cannot wait to continue with these novels, and just kind of all things Bond. It's been great to go through this and share my thoughts, and it'd be great to hear your thoughts on this novel, if you've read it, of course. If you've read any of the other kind of novels in the series, of course, Ian Fleming being such a great writer, and there are quite a few that we have to discuss. I look forward to that, and it'd be great to hear your thoughts, on this, and just your experiences, and reading this novel, of course. How many of you read, and all this? It'd be great to know, and look forward to sharing my thoughts, for you viewers, and hearing your opinions on this, and all things Bond, and it'd be great to know, and feel free, if you want, to leave your thoughts in the comments, and it'd be great to do, and perhaps if you've never kind of read these novels, of course, we can kind of go on this together, and every so often, if you want, you can kind of check in, and you can kind of watch, and the kind of me logging my thoughts, and you can kind of do the same. I encourage all this, and just it'd be great to do this kind of experience, going through these, and just kind of getting as much of Bond as we can in that sense, and this universe. And yes, it's been a pleasure, and as always, take care, and thanks for watching.